All right, back in Vegas.
Do you know what today is, though?
Friday.
Yeah, and you know what that means?
What does that mean? No blower.
No blowers. No one wants to do any work here today.
Someone asked me yesterday, do you ever do jaywalking always on Friday? I'm like, I guess we have. Because there's never any blower.
You know what the funny thing is? I don't think we like to because I was traveling on Fridays.
Right.
And now...
You've been in town for a while.
Well, I got back at like 2 a.m. because we flew to Tampa yesterday.
Yeah, that was a quick trip.
To do a podcast. So I have a huge conference I'm doing in June. It's the 16th through the 18th. It's in Tampa. It's called RiseCon. And I went out there to kind of do some promotional, and I did a podcast with Vic, who's hosting the event, and it was a quick turnaround trip, man. It was like so super fast. You know how I move in and out, so it was.
Is it tough on your timeline, like your sleep pattern?
No. You know, I slept 4 hours. I felt, which is sufficient. Let's see, I got in at 2, so I was up at 6:30. So yeah, I went to bed. I probably slept 3.5 hours.
Wow. But
that's fine. I slept good the night before, you know, when I landed there, and I got up and trained yesterday morning early. We trained I did a fasted workout, which I've been doing lately. I've always been against those fasted workouts, man, and I know I have Cutler Club, and I always talk about having the great meal like an hour before training, and you know, what's the ideal pre-workout meal? And in the morning, if I'm going to train after meal 1, it's always egg whites. And, you know, I usually say grits or oatmeal or cream or rice or, you know, something of the sort. I have some Ezekiel bread, I've been eating cottage cheese the last probably couple years. Mm-hmm. Got rid of the turkey bacon just because it's fake.
You ate it for years, though.
I ate it for years, not when I was competing, but just as an option, because I think we get a little spoiled. But as I get my transformation going, I'm trying to slowly ease out of the comfortable things, eating. Mm. So if you remember when I was training in full capacity they're finally working in this house, by the way, guys. They're going to put the trusses on the roof. When I was training for Olympias, you know, it was very cut and dry. I don't even know if I used, Ezekiel bread for a lot of those preps, because I don't even know if we knew about it. I kind of introduced it. We get rid of the leaf blowers, and now we have planes. So when Ezekiel came about, I started having the bread slices. You remember the diet I did? I used to have like 7 slices of bread for the diet. For
the cereal.
It gave my stomach like some bad issues, dude. I mean, I had colitis, which a lot of people don't know. So I was diagnosed with colitis after the 2009 Olympia. And I didn't realize, because I couldn't hold any food. You know, I was running to the bathroom, and I went to a specialist. Of course, had colonoscopy. That was when I was 38. They put me on a prescription called Lialda, and I stayed on it for about 4 months. And I was concerned because at the time, Hani's like, I don't know if it's going to affect your prep for the Olympia, you know. So we tried coming off, and I couldn't come off, so I had to stay on the medication for about a year. My insurance did cover it because it's super expensive without insurance. And honestly, after a year, I came off. I had no issues whatsoever ever again. And they actually told me, in 10 years, you're probably going to have an issue again. So that's when I would have been 47. And knock on wood, like, I haven't had any major issues, but they are, you know, it's always a concern for colon cancer or whatever when you have, you know, some sort of issues like that. So
did you change your diet after that?
You know, I stopped all the fiber, so I had to change I think I was eating so much Ezekiel, because if you remember, I was eating Ezekiel cereal and Ezekiel bread, right?
Yeah.
So I think I became I think that's what really caused it, to be truthful. And I had to start, you know, eating more whole foods, because if you remember, my biggest challenge was because I was at such a big body weight, and I think I was eating a lot more carbs too, but the amounts of food I had to eat.
I know.
And I struggled with that. So it's kind of funny, when I was doing this podcast yesterday, I was like, you know, I was asked the question, what did you eat after the show? And if you remember, it wasn't what I was going to eat. It was the fluids, you know, drinking, because I had to dehydrate so heavily.
Yeah.
You know, I always lost 15 pounds the last week before. And
I know. It's crazy how much you lost.
Yeah, because I had a big body, and that's where I see, like, you know, the Ramis and, you know, Andrew Jackson, all these guys, like Samson. I mean, I imagine they have to lose like a lot of water weight.
Yeah.
For the smaller guys, I mean, they're smaller stature, less weight. I don't see them struggling as bad, like trying to lose that much weight.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that rectified itself. Remember, 2009 was a highlight year for me.
Yeah.
And we were chasing the movie Dream then.
I know.
For the Hercules film.
So much going on.
And, you know, it was, it brings me back to, you know, it's not always easy. And I think about, I was just saying to, you know, I was talking to Ben this morning, and, you know, we were talking about, because he's building his business, you know, he's working on a solar business right now.
Okay.
And he's like, you know, everything takes a little time, and it's, you know, it's the building process. And I was like, you know, when he met me, you know, I was on top of the world. I was like 42, but I had to remind him, dude, I lost, you know, 1 year, lost the dog, lost the contract, got divorced, tore my bicep.
That was a tough year.
Lost the Olympia.
Yeah.
All in a range of like
When it rains, it
couple
pours.
months.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah. When it rains, it pours.
And everyone said, wow, was that a really down time for you? And it's like, yeah, it was just more of a, an adjustment.
Yeah, I never really heard you complain much about any of this.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, you're always the same.
because
it's
everything,
tough.
you know, you roll with the punches, and
Yeah, but that's a lot.
you can either be like, poor me, or you just,
Yeah. Move
you know,
forward.
you just do more, or what, I got busier and I started a business, you know.
Yeah.
If you remember, I started, you know, a supplement line, and
Yeah.
then eventually I partnered, you know, with the whole thing in Florida, and then eventually, you know, remember that thing fell apart, and I restarted, you know, the sports brand that I have now, and here we are on top, you know. And not every day's easy, you know. It's, you know, we had to deal with COVID and supply chains, and
Yeah.
you know, here I am trying to do innovation on a lot of products, you know, listen to my audience, which that audience changes all the time. And, you know, I have a broad range between younger demographic, older demographic, and mid-range, you know, male, female. And it's just awesome that, you know, social media allows me, and what I've been putting out lately is my content of like the old stuff and
Yeah.
mixed in with the new.
Yeah.
You see all that stuff
Yeah.
I'm putting out?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I talk a lot about the training and why I do what I do and how I do it, and what I've learned from, you know, positive things and negative things. You know, we all make mistakes, and mistakes are what make us better.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you try to rectify situations, and that involves everything: relationships, business, you know, goals every week. But I'm setting new goals, man. And, you know, this weekend, you know, I have a lot of content I'm shooting today, and, you know, I have a live tomorrow for Cutler Club on Facebook. And I don't know when we're launching this video, but
When's that new commercial coming out with the protein?
it's actually finished now, and it's with the ad agency.
Okay, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny, but you know, I'm excited to be back. And like I said, I got up and I trained, fasted yesterday, but I'm gonna hit the gym this morning, have a couple calls, and then I'm gonna train this afternoon with J-Mac, do some video stuff, you know, just some ad stuff. And
Nice.
you know, weather's great.
Yeah.
Weather's great in Vegas, and, you know, gearing up for the Arnold. Sounds like we have
Yeah.
Andrew coming out this weekend, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to put him on the podcast.
Yeah, you should. You've never had them.
No, I
Okay.
think Flex did, but
Oh, that was a while ago, and he has different things. So
big changes in his routine right now.
yeah. Yeah.
Living in the Mecca.
I wonder how he likes that. Chris's gym is. You haven't seen Chris's gym, huh?
No.
Psycho Fitness is very nice. It's not too big, but it's perfect for what he's got going. So, and right on the beach, great spot. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is very in tune with stuff, you know.
He's great.
I hear this water running, and I want to have some sort of water. One thing I took away from going out there, I was speaking to this guy yesterday about architecture in Medellin, Colombia, like of homes, and he was showing me some designs. Man, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I really want to, eventually build a place that my new mind is kind of envisioning. You set those goals, right?
Uh-huh.
And I definitely want to do something different as we lead into 23. Start planning some new goals. So
Nice.
hope everyone's crushing 2023, man.
Yeah. 1 month down already, almost.
Yeah, it's a big. We have a lot of travel still coming up. I'll be in Syosset, New York.
On the 4th, right?
Yeah, so that's next weekend, right?
Yeah, next weekend.
I leave on Friday.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys come out and see me. That's a free event. We'll try to put something about it on the screen.
It's huge.
It's at the Brett Francis Powerhouse Gym. I'll be out there from noon forward. And mark your calendars. But, I appreciate you guys following along. We're getting our little jaywalking in this morning. Like I said, I kind of laid off some of the fasted cardio because I've been doing fasted training. And, I appreciate you guys following along. I appreciate all the support. Keep spreading the news. Everyone's been asking me where jaywalking is, so hopefully we can launch this out today. And you guys can get a little taste. So, once again, I appreciate you. And keep chasing those goals. And we'll see you back for another episode here next week.
All right.
Crush it.
Awesome.
No mercy for you. No worries for you. That Game of Thrones. Go Cersei on you. I flipped the script. I roll the dice. Don't fall asleep, cause I'm working nights. Hey, you trying to shut me